So, good morning everybody. I'm Skoller from the Trader Low community, and I'm going to do my weekly forecast for you guys this week, for the upcoming week, and for what has actually happened this week. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin, the Eurodollar, the ES, and Microsoft as our stock for this week. I hope you will enjoy it. Sit back and relax, and let's roll the intro. So for the Bitcoin, what we can actually see is that we completed the bullish scenario. Looks like the bearish case scenario didn't work out in the end. That's why you always take one bullish case and one bearish case scenario, right? So let's have a look at what we were thinking. If the bearish case scenario would have been completed, then we would have actually looked at this 13K.9 level, but looks like they failed to actually get a little bit of bearish momentum going on this weekly candle right now. So let's go a little bit down on the daily. Last week we said that we were actually expecting them, if the bullish case scenario would come true, to at least get higher than this one or this one, and looks like they've actually achieved to do that, right? They almost touched the double top on the weekly of the candle bodies. So let's have a look on the daily, what they've actually done. As you can see, we wanted them to actually achieve above this 17.2 level, right? So that's this one here on the daily. It's all the way back to the left. We went over that last week. And what we can very nicely see is that once we closed above it, they came back down to test it. Once they tested it, they moved higher. Now, what am I currently looking for XBT? I'm actually hoping that there will be one day of us going down, so we can create some kind of red candle. After that, I want them to move back up, touch this daily candle body right here, and then maybe start moving down. Once we start moving down, we can maybe retest it and then go lower for a bullish retracement. So I'm looking for something like that right now. If this doesn't happen, then Bitcoin will just continue its bull trend, because we're currently really in a bull trend, as you can clearly see, and then we might actually go for these new all-time highs. Now the scenario that will probably play out is actually the same as what happened here, right? Here we went above it, and then on the daily we came back to retest it. So for our bullish case scenario, we actually want to go above this 19.3 level and then come back down to test it and then move higher, and then we will probably conquer these new all-time highs. So this is my bullish case scenario, and the bearish case is this one. That we move above it, trade a little bit above the level, then lose the level, and then check if we actually achieved it or lost it or not, and then do a small retracement. Now these retracements are still bullish, right? If you look on the weekly, we went over this last week, but we have a lot of space to still keep bullish, right? So we cannot go all the way down to this 13.9 level and still be bullish. Same for this one. We can go all the way down to 11.9k and still be bullish. So that's it for Bitcoin for me. Let's go over to the next pair. So for the Eurodollar, looks like we've been trying to break out of this range to finally go and test this weekly that we've been talking about 2 weeks ago. But looks like the bearish pressure from this pattern right here was a little bit too hard for us to get over it for the first attempt. So as you can see, we tried to get above it. We failed at this resistance right here. After that, we made a small retracement, but right now it kind of looks like they're doing smaller retracements for this breakout, right? So for the bullish scenario, you would not want them to close below this zone, in my opinion. Maybe they can wick the origin swing right here. If they do so, then we can get another attempt to the upside. Now we really want to break through though. If we don't, we will probably see a downward pattern by us closing in this 1.18 range. If we close in this 1.18 range, then I'm actually looking for a failure, and then we will probably go head down. Now we still have one less chance, even if we break the origin swing of this bigger move. So we will have two setups right here. One over here, right, as a possible long, but I think this will be a long for the failure. So going down here and then up here, and then actually breaking it. And then we have another last resort, and that would be this 1.17 level that I talked earlier about last week, that I do not want to close below off. So these are my two setups for the Eurodollar. I know this is quite a quick one, but not a lot has happened since last week, right? So we have this, either we fail this move or we succeed in this move and we go higher. If we fail, we will probably see some downward setups, which we can probably take, with our targets being the origin swing of the move that brought us to this failure, or a downward move all the way to the point that we do not want to lose in this whole structure. So that's it for the euro dollar. Let's go over to the ES. So for the ES, looks like the bearish scenario actually worked out quite perfectly that we mentioned in the video last week. So we had this weekly sweep already lining up, right? So that made me be kind of more bearish on the ES than usual. We had done the daily. We tried to trade above the daily at the first week, but we failed on the 4-hour, right? So we did some kind of distribution pattern over here. I'm not going to go too deep into that. If you want to know more about this distribution patterns, you can always come and visit us on our Twitch channel, where we teach TA almost every day. So I invite you for that. Now let's continue this analysis. So we kind of did the bearish scenario right here. Now the place to hold, if you still want some kind of bullish scenario, must be here, right? If we start losing this, so what do I mean with losing this? If we start trading below it, we will probably go and test this 3,495 for each level. What was this level again? This was the swing that brought us to the all-time high, right? As you can see right here. So this is an important must hold. But if we go here and we don't just wick it up, right? If we don't rebuy it up, I'm really thinking that we will go lower and start testing these 3,381 levels. Maybe this 3,400 as well. Why? Because if we start if we will go lower and test these levels, then we will also create some new bearish patterns in here. Because we create these new bearish patterns in here, it'll be harder to move up. Now there's don't worry, if you're a bull on the ES, there's also a bullish case scenario, right? So as I said, we can come back down all the way here to the move that brought us to this previous all-time high. If we do, we can still get some other bullish divergence, right? So this is the bearish one. For the bullish one, let me clean this up very quickly. So I just talked a little bit about us testing these lows and then buying it back up. That would be very great for the bulls if we can actually close above this zone. If we do close above this zone, and if we then can within here form some kind of bullish pattern, then we can actually do something like this, right? And move up and try and conquer the previous all-time high again. As you can see right here, we kind of rejected it. So now if we want the bullish case scenario, we will actually have to try and start trading above this green box right now. So that will be the case for the bulls. Maybe we don't retrace all the way to 3,494. If we do, we only wanted to tap it. We don't want to trade here for too long. If we don't trade here for too long, we want to try and achieve this green box, and then we can try and make a new all-time high. If not, we'll probably go here, start trading lower, go and look what we've lost. If we've lost anything, what will probably be the case, then we will go down and might retest this weekly level down here. Well, there might be other levels, but then my eye would be on 3381. So that's kind of it for the ES. It's kind of forming nicely. Also for the bears and for the bulls, always try to look for a bearish case scenario and also a bullish case scenario, because well, yeah, you don't really know where the market is going, right? We can only prepare ourselves by trading certain patterns. So that's it for the ES. Let's go over to Microsoft. So for the weekly on Microsoft, it looks kind of decent, right? So what they've been trying to do is there was some kind of bearish pressure right here, but looks like they were able to create a new higher low. The only sad thing in my opinion is that they only traded one close above the previous swing high. So let's go down to the daily to get some more details. And yeah, it looks like they weren't actually able to properly create a new high. Now, if you're bullish on Microsoft, these lows are still a very nice buy if you're bullish on it. If you're bearish on it, then I suppose you would have probably taken this short right here, right? So for the bears, it's kind of simple, right? We just want to break out of these lows. If we are able to trade in this lower box right here, then we will probably move down. Now that I think about it, I'm actually a little bit more bearish than bullish, especially on the daily, due to this test right here in the green box. because we tested this box so vividly and we didn't trade here, I'm actually seeing that there's more bearish pressure. And the only thing that the bulls have left as ammo to fire back is this bottom zone. If we lose this bottom zone, I really think that we will start breaking down, and we will probably go down and visit these lows right here at 187. So for me, if I was a bear and I would have a short from somewhere around here, one of my bigger profit targets would be this zone. Of course, this is non-financial advice. I just want to let you guys know again. We're just doing some nice charting, and we're trying to see if our analysis will work or not. For the bulls, we will have to hope that we hold this zone, and then we can try to get above this zone, the 215 zone. If we can get above it, then we might get a new shot at these new all-time highs for Microsoft. So bullish case scenario 185, bullish case scenario will be 216, and we have to trade above 216. If we trade above 216, we can probably go for the new all-time highs. So guys, thank you very much for watching my forecast of this week. If you have any questions about my analysis, feel free to join our Twitch channel and ask questions to our community in there. We also do regular sessions over there. Just go ahead and have a look. We're a very nice community that helps you learn price action and technical analysis. If you liked the video, please make sure to give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see your stock being reviewed in the next week, make sure to post it also in the comments. Thank you very much for watching.